I'm going to show you the two main ways that I personally like to put clothes and accessories onto my VRChat avatars. So some assets already come pre-rigged, and whether it is for the base that I'm already using or not, I'd personally just decide to not use those at all. And it also just kind of causes some issues sometimes. Bones can get doubled up and all that kind of thing. So I'll show you how I deal with that. So if I'm importing a asset, so let's just say the jeans that we've already used on this, I'm going to open this up. See how it comes with an armature right here? Right when I bring it in, I literally just push delete. And then you can go in and you can, go into sculpt mode and fit it to the body that you have. But we've already done that. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how I would weight paint something that is super simple, like it's only touching one part of the body. So for example, these little face piercings right here, I've already done it, but I'm going to delete it so I can show you how to do it again. They are only on the head. They're not touching the neck. They're not touching anything else. So this should be really simple. I will go ahead and push on the asset that I want to edit. And I'm going to go into this little mode right here, this little tab. It's a green triangle. I'm going to go ahead and push the plus button on the vertex groups, and I know that this is going to be connected to the head. If you don't know what bone it's going to be connected to, but you know where on the body it's supposed to be, you can go ahead and find it in your armature, but I know that it's going to be the head, and I know the exact spelling, and I know the exact upper lowercase. So it is head with a capital H. Go ahead and push enter. Now, if we go into weight paint mode, I tend to use the gradient tool a lot, whether I use radial or linear. It just makes sure that all of it is consistent, because if I use this brush tool and I paint that on there, the back side of it isn't going to get painted. But if I use the gradient tool, both sides will get painted. So I'll usually just use the linear tool and go back and forth really quick on a quick weight paint like this. And then the other main tool that I use to keep my clothes onto my avatars and not just floating there is I go ahead and click on the asset that I want to mess with. I'm going to go ahead and push this little modifier properties right here, the little wrench, the blue wrench, and click on add modifier and push data transfer. So I'm going to be data transferring from the body. So think of data transferring and weight painting like paint. So if you go into weight paint mode right here, and if I go back to this tab and I go through my vertex groups, at some point, it's going to show some weight painting. So you see those little red and like blue and green bits coming up. Think of it as paint. And when you use a data transfer, it kind of presses that paint onto the clothes. It's not going to be perfect. You're probably going to go have to, maybe smooth some spots or like adjust the weight painting a little bit, but it's a great starting point. Definitely much better than having to start from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and we have the data transfer already. I'm going to push source. I'm going to copy it from the body. I'm going to click this little check mark on the vertex data, bring this drop down, click on vertex groups, and then change the mapping to nearest face interpolated. Then drop down topology mapping, change ray radius to 5, press enter, push generate data layers right here above vertex data, and then click on this little downward arrow and push apply. So then you just need to make sure that you have a armature modifier on every single asset, or else it'll just float there. So go ahead and click on the asset, click on armature in the add modifier tab, and then I'm going to connect this to the only armature that I have personally on this project, but that should just be the main armature that you have if you have some extra ones. The one that has your body in it, your head, your hair, all that connected. And then it'll be just fine. So let me make sure that I have that on the other piercings that I showed you how to do. See, it just says object. I just click on this and click on armature. Now, the very last thing that you have to do is put the mesh itself up in this hierarchy section onto the correct armature. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. I just haven't data transferred these yet, so I'm only going to do the two that I just showed you. I'm going to click on piercings, and I'm shift left clicking and then dragging it up and just dropping it onto this top armature, not this green one, the yellow one. And then see how it is within this little kind of folder there. And then we're going to go ahead and drop this one, shift to left click again, drag onto the armature. So now if we would like to test it, we can go ahead and use the CATS plugin, the pose mode. It's just right here at the top of it. And I'm going to click on the chest and we're going to drag that down. So only the two things that we connected should be the ones that are sticking to the body right now, because I haven't data transferred or weight painted anything else. But see, those things are the things that are sticking to it and everything else stays. So that means we did it right.